mess at me all the time. He's like, Sunshine. I was like, I just do everything. And I get everybody. You do this. This is. But Monday, this is special. So. Okay. Mwah, mwah, mwah. It's your girl, Sunshine. Here, I would say, let's move you over a little bit more so we can get you in. It's your girl, Sunshine, coming to rob the spotlight for a minute because we have no other Adiyon, right? I said it right?
Yes, you did.
On in Buffalo, what, for 2 more weeks?
Yes.
So I had to grab him up because why? We have a movie about to air live January 15th. So he's one of the main actors. And I was on the set because I was an extra. So I was like, let me grab him while he's here.
Right. Absolutely.
So introduce yourself to the ones that may not know you.
Name Adiyon. Just finished the movie Conflicted, airing the 15th of next month.
Mm-hmm.
Produced by A.K. Reed Films. Deuce King, written by Deuce King. Love those brothers. Shout out to those brothers. Shout out to John Stover, Monique Cummings, man. You know, great people to work with, man. And we have a great team of people who are passionate about what they do, and I think that's what's going to make the movie that much more appealing to people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real life story about real life struggles, and the people that were involved and are still involved in this project, everyone in their own right is passionate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And isn't Benny the Butcher in it also?
Yes, he is.
And you guys have soundtracks on there, don't you?
Yes, I actually have. They're doing the soundtrack. I actually have the lead score in the movie, which is also the video we just completed called "Thank God I'm Free."
Mm-hmm.
Go to YouTube, check it out. "Thank God I'm Free" is part of the mini movie that we're shooting, which is also the lead score, which is the first song that you hear when the movie comes on.
Okay.
And that's to the movie. So we just completed that. We actually just finished filming last night, part of the mini movie. So all of that's all tied in to the Conflicted soundtrack. So shout out to Benny. Shout out to my young world, Rick Hyde, my guy, Heen, man, West Side, everybody moving.
All right. And now, aren't they from Buffalo as well?
Absolutely.
So isn't the everybody that's in the movie from Buffalo?
Yes. Yeah. For the main part. But we also shout out to Jay Holiday.
Okay.
And Michael Rappaport.
Okay.
They're not from Buffalo. Yeah, they're also in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know there was some bowling scenes that T. Ferg and Anthony Hoof. What's up, y'all?
Shout out to them. Shout out to them.
That's in the bowling scene, but Huff was able to get me in the club scene.
Right.
So I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
what you did a phenomenal job.
Oh, thank you.
You was working.
I was like, I came from work straight there.
Yeah.
And they was like, you can't be on the dance floor. I need you up with the other ladies that's for the engagement scene.
Right.
But we're not going to give anything away but that. But I posted pictures also.
Right.
So, as we already bigging that up. We're liking and sharing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could get the producers to do an interview before it comes out, because Buffalo.
Yeah. Well, the city on fire. And right now, I think that it's a beautiful time for the city. One of the things I always promote anytime I'm doing any platform is that we need to have that unity of sticking together and supporting each other, that we work together to make sure that we put the spotlight and keep the spotlight. So many talented people here that instead of being an individual doing something on your own, everybody should pull together. And that way the goal is to get up the mountain.
Yeah.
And I think that collectively we start working together and treating this like this is something we're doing. So I want to say this. I don't know if you want to edit this later, but I have issue with BLK. I have an issue with them.
Okay.
The issue I have is not with anybody particularly at BLK. I have an issue with I can go anywhere in any other city and they support every artist that's from their hometown. I think that we have a stigma here that needs to be erased. I'm from Buffalo, but what I'm doing is not local. So if you consider me a local artist, shame on you. I'm not a local artist. I'm from Buffalo. I'm homegrown. I'm from here. I
Yeah.
love it. Shout out to Buffalo. Shout out to everybody supporting. But we have to, if we say we supporting our own, then I shouldn't have to get in a contest to get my music played where I'm from. I can go to Atlanta and get my music played, and I'm not from Atlanta. I can go to New York get it played. How am I asked to be on a do a contest and compete with someone from here? We should be supporting each other. And every artist who's serious, I'm not speaking of those who may take this as a hobby. I'm saying every individual artist who's seriously doing this as a career, then he or she should be taken serious, and that our music is in rotation. Not that we have to compete. We shouldn't have to compete with a song per week, and you're only playing my song one time a week.
Oh,
That
I
that
agree.
is so backwards.
Oh, I don't edit. We keep it
Man, no doubt.
100
That's what we
here
need to do.
because here it does speak easy. They already know.
Exactly.
We put facts on our page.
Absolutely.
We bring knowledge and wisdom to people. We try to open up the
Yeah.
sleepers and be like, wake up, people.
So BLK, we need y'all to get on your job, support Buffalo homegrown talent, artists, anybody that's moving in the music industry. I really believe the culture needs to change as far as radio here. I don't know who needs to change it.
Besides radio, everywhere.
Yeah.
In Buffalo, besides the radio, the police department, everything
Yeah,
needs to
yeah.
change because the simple fact is, back in the day,
Hmm.
we had our own towns.
Right.
We had black doctors, black everything,
Hmm.
bankers, bakery.
No, I get it.
But
get it.
now everybody's all out for themselves and don't know
Right.
how to be a village.
Right.
I grew up with a village. So
Mhm.
I'm like, if I'm making it and you in my circle, if I allow you to be in my circle, I want to see you grow with me.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And if you're not dropping nuggets and if you don't have the hunger as me, then I'm
Mhm.
going to have to leave you because you're not going to be my dead weight.
Right. And you know, I'm glad you just touched on that. Is if we say that we're moving forward as a community, meaning we're doing a show right now on your show,
Mhm.
and thanks for having me, by the way. And I'm doing what I'm doing individually, but there's a team of people behind me that you don't see all the time
Mhm.
that's working hard to make what we're doing go forward. But I never promote me as if the people who's behind the scenes don't get the recognition. Um, so there's a team. I got a manager. Shout out to my manager, Juice Darren Johnson.
Okay.
One of the illest managers in the game. And in our city, we have to use and utilize those tools of individually becoming a collective, because that's how you make it.
Mhm.
So I don't want to take no credit individually for what I'm doing, because there's people on my team that's just as passionate as I am doing what we do.
Exactly. Iron sharpens iron.
Absolutely.
And that's why when Does Speak Easy asked me to join,
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, because I'm the only queen.
I mean it.
On top of that, I have my three brothers on here and they got my back. And they be like, okay, Sunshine, when can I hop on your show with you?
Yeah.
I got this person. I was like, let's
Right,
go.
right.
I was like, because we are here to elevate each other. We
Right.
drop nuggets. Like we have one that does marketing for us, advertising. Big up to digital marketing, Ursh.
Right.
So, we all have something on the side as well,
Right.
but we help promote each other.
That's what we should do.
And we're eating at the table. Who else can we bring with us
Right.
to eat at the
Mhm.
table? And we do connects. People be like, Nicole, do you know this or that? Or I'm like, hold on. If I don't have a connect, I'll get a connect for you and
Right.
I'll set you that way.
That's great.
But see, that's the thing. A lot of people don't like to
Right.
share.
Right. I know.
And I'm like, what is the problem?
And-
We all got room.
I'm glad you touched on that. I did an interview. Shout out to my man DJ Newkirk and his wife Angie down in Miami. They have they have a podcast down there, radio station, and you're right. And that's what it takes. Like if I have and I did an interview and I spoke about that. If I have any producer, like I have a videographer. Shout out to Zach Warren Films, my videographer, and again, AK Reed, Deuce King.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get y'all next.
The reason why I mention that is, if I have any connection, I don't own these people individually. I don't own them. So if you want to work with these guys, they're all over my page. Man, you go check them out. Adiyon Dashalan on IG, Adiyon Dashalan on Facebook, and I promote these guys. They don't ask me for no money. I send their way. I don't ask for no money that they send my way, because that's what has to happen. You know what I mean? That we work together instead of trying to hold on. No, this is mine over here. You know what I mean? No, I got my own videographer. No, work with him. Call Zach up. He dope. He worth the money. any nights at what he do. Deuce King, one of the most prolific writers of our time, man. You know what I mean? The brother is gonna be amazing. More to come. It's more to come. AK Reed, one of the dopest directors in the game. Shout out again to AK Reed because he really don't do music videos. So he tell me like, yo, people call me and be like, yo, I seen you did Adiyon video, man. Do my video. And they be like, yo, I want AK Reed to do a video for me. I'm like, man, I can't make him do a video for you because he really don't do videos, but we have that bond that for me, he'll do a video. So I want to set the record straight. AK Reed don't really do videos. He don't. So
but see, that's love right there.
Right. So I it's that when you have an understanding for what we do, and I'm passionate about what I do. I do what I do not for the money. I do it because of the passion and the love of the culture for music. I love music. Shout out to my guy Kid Cole, one of the illest producers in the world. And it's the love of the culture. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, DJ Shay. You know what I mean? Me and these brothers go back 30 years doing music. Okay. You know what I mean? 20, 25, 30 years doing music. And we never did it for the money. Don't confuse that. I'm not saying that we weren't looking to see a payday, but the passion for the music comes first, not the payday. We never made a song like, yo, we're gonna get $1 million for this song.
Yeah.
We made hip hop music, lyrics, bars, beats, and we did it, we still do it for the love of the culture. And Lord willing, because it is a business, we hope to get some finances from it, but it's the love of the culture and the music that we do it for, not for the payday.
See, I was talking to Paris Smith Friday, EPMD, and for the interview, he was like, yeah, we're coming back. I said, I've been wanting hip hop back because the music now, I say it all the time. Me and my son argue all the time. I'm like, that's not hip hop. Let me introduce you to hip hop.
Yeah.
Born and raised with music in my spirit, in my blood.
Right.
That's not this. What they got out here now is all copycat. Or there's no, I was like, spit bars.
Right.
Can you hold it? Can if you have a rap battle, can you think off the dome? Right. Do you have to write it and memorize it?
Right.
I was like, you should be hungry for it.
Well, see, I think that, and I'm glad you touched on that, and it's probably going to touch a nerve with a few people.
Oh, let it touch.
A lot of the labels, a lot of the labels, right? When the artist has what is called creative control over his album, which is a dope thing to give an artist. You have to give the artist creative control. I can't tell an artist what to wear, what his image should be.
Come on.
That kills the culture. That kills the culture. So I will say this. Even though this music that these younger guys are making we may not consider it hip hop music. We have to let the music go forward that they add to the culture. Now, the taking away part is, I think hip hop, and Lord willing, this is what I'm trying to bring back to the table is the lyrics and bars. But I think hip hop is lacking that authenticity. Everybody sounding the same. That's not what hip hop does. We don't do that. You're supposed to try to make and be your own individual, because I can tell you right now, I'm not focused on making hits. I want to hit, and Lord willing, I got some singles.
Hit.
No, I got some singles that are hit, but I promise I'm not focused. Like, I ain't getting in the studio like, yo, we got to make a hit. You get what I'm saying?
That makes sense. You writing.
I'm trying to make quality music.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can hope you do is you like it and support it.
Yeah.
But I'm not about to dye my hair, and I ain't knocking nobody who do. I'm not about to dye my hair, and I'm not about to, auto tune all over the place. Right. But because the culture is important. Break dancers, b-boys, MCs, DJs, these type of things. This is part of hip hop culture.
Yeah.
I will say this, that I love battle rappers. I do. Here's the problem with battle rapping. Battle rapping don't sell music. It doesn't.
No, it don't.
It doesn't. I'm being honest. I'm not.
No, I know.
I'm not knocking it. You could be the nastiest battle rapper.
It's very entertaining,
right?
But it doesn't.
It doesn't. It doesn't sell. It doesn't sell albums because you can't put a. You want to. What happens now is you listen to a lot of music, and it's not in format. It's just somebody saying a whole bunch of words from this point to that point, and between the hook, the first verse don't even make sense with the second verse. It's just, so I think that's what's leaving, and Lord willing, that's what I'm bringing back, bars and lyrics.
I forgot to share this, so I'm sharing this right now. Putting this on the page. Forgive me, loyals. I'm going to like and share this on our page.
That's right.
And then when it's over, you could put it on your page.
Okay, I sure will.
But
absolutely.
It's true. It is so true right now because we are It's sad. It really is. See,
Mhm.
we already got people. So my thing is, the simple fact is, what I wish that we get more loyalty.
Mm,
We don't have that.
mm,
We A lot of people lost that. And my cousin says, "Why you keep looking at people like you? You're loyal.
mm.
You got to have the ones that's been." So I rock with the people that I grew up with that I know that's loyal, because loyalty is very hard.
It's crazy you said that, right? Um, and it's probably gonna touch a nerve too. I ran and owned my own record label at 23.
Okay.
Um, and I've been through some things with it, and I'm not looking for anybody to say, "Oh, he the one started it." But I can damn sure tell you, sitting here, I inspired a lot of people to know that they can do music on their own. I had an album out called Frozen Water. Shout out to my man Ty C.G. Brown. Um, and when a lot of people would ask me, "How did you do it? Who did you go to?" I'm like, I learned myself.
Mm.
It was stumbling blocks, but I was, getting at record labels, getting at distributors and things like that on what would I need to get distributed. So I put in a lot of legwork that today that I love, and I ain't asked nobody to pay homage, but everybody in this town know who was the first to have and run their own record label independently. I'm one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Hmm.
So, are you independent now?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that way it comes all to
Right.
you, and you
Oh
know.
yeah, 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 yeah. I am definitely independent. Like I said, what's beautiful today is that most artists do have creative control.
Mhm.
I think that, like I said, when the the money starts rolling in, let me say that when the money starts rolling in, and you have these younger brothers or sisters who may want to get out of a certain situation, then sometimes that can get confused. The money lane may get confused with the creative lane. So you have a lot of these people looking at the money now because they're not used to living a certain way. So sometimes getting that money too fast
Yeah.
causes people to crash, and then now the creative side is being taken over by the label and their lust for the money.
Yeah.
So it's better to be independent. It's actually a little easier now. And I tell any artist out there to, Lord willing, make sure you, before you sign these deals, to see what you could do on your own first, because it's better to have less people in your pocket than more.
Exactly. I put my stuff on DistroKid.
Tell me about it.
That way it's a 1 year
Hmm.
thing, and it goes to every platform:
Right.
iTunes, Amazon,
Everywhere.
Spotify, Pandora.
Everywhere.
That's cheap.
Right.
And you write it off as a tax write off for
Absolutely. I'm
your
hip.
and
I'm hip.
the simple facts is, do your research.
Right.
And if you ever sign contracts, get an attorney first to read it for
Right.
you, in case you don't understand, because they like to put in hidden little
Hmm.
small prints and everything. I'm a paralegal, so I'll let
Right.
you know.
Absolutely.
Get an attorney to read your
Right.
contract, because you don't want to be gypped.
Right. No.
Like EPMD, Paris said their first one, they got ripped off because
Right.
they didn't have attorney review their contract.
But I also can add this. What I love, and the people that I'm working with, like, we doing what is called feature for feature. So instead of somebody, you don't have to pay everybody like to be on your album. When you first starting out, you have to work your way to get to the point where people may say, well, let's pay him to get on a song. So
Okay.
with me and a lot of the guys that I'm around, shout out to my man Ponzo, shout out to my man Tim Love, the cat. And what we do, and my man Kulu, what we do is feature for feature.
Okay.
Meaning I'll feature them on one of my songs, and they'll feature me on one of their
Oh,
songs.
that's what's up.
So that way we supporting each other. You know what I mean? So this helps the wheel spin.
Mhm.
It's you can't improve the wheel. It's already round.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't invent it. It's already invented. It's round already, but you can improve it.
Yeah.
And that's and that's what we trying to bring back, that love of hip hop music culture, for the culture, not simply for the payday.
Yeah. I respect that. I appreciate that,
Yeah.
because I miss real hip hop. Like, people's like, you're stuck in the 80s and 90s. Well, whatever. Because the simple fact is, now there's some that's good,
Right.
and there's some that the majority is garbage. I'm like, so when I started seeing the Locks come out with another one,
Shout out
Nas
to the
come out with
Lox,
another
Nas.
one, EPMD is
Real
about to come
music.
with another one.
Yeah.
EPMD is about to be on the Coming to America soundtrack.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So when I'm like, oh, time you're coming back, and the little birdie told me KRS is about to drop his album.
That's
Come
gonna be
on,
dope.
that knowledge
That's
right
hip-hop
there.
music.
KRS One.
Knowledge reigns
You
supreme.
know, Public Enemy coming back. Come
Yeah.
on. Real hip hop.
Yo, real hip hop music. And shout out again. I want to say this wholeheartedly. Shout out to West Side Gun, man, Benny and Conway. I believe that those brothers, what they did to the hip hop music, man. Yeah, what they did to the hip hop music, as far as the lyricists. I love what they did because it was almost like people were getting away. People were getting away from the lyricists.
Yeah.
You can't have hip hop without the lyricists. And I love the fact that these brothers have stayed themselves throughout the whole process and progressing forward, and has shined the light on this city and has put the spark back into real lyrics and bars. Shout out to those brothers.
Yes. Oh, I'm trying to get Benny. I'm trying to get Benny because I don't like Buffalo's cold weather. I tell everybody that. I was like, I'm from Long Island. We don't see negative 19-degree weather.
Right.
Buffalo, you see negative degree 19.
Right.
And people's like, you like Buffalo? I was like, I hate the weather. I hate the weather.
A lot of wings,
but
though.
I love it. Oh my God. But the fact is, not a lot of traffic up here. Only for the holiday, but it's still nothing like New York City.
No.
Jesus.
But I still love New York City.
But I was just there and I was loving it. I was like, I don't want to go, but I gotta go because I got the kids to take care of, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Benny the Butcher because when his album dropped that same morning, I was like, boop, iTunes, download.
Right. Real hip hop music.
Saying,
right. Oh, then you're gonna love my album. Oh, you're gonna love my album.
And then when yours, I'm Free, it's talking about the prison system.
Right. Yeah.
Let's touch on that.
Well, you know, back in 2007, I was unfortunately had to take someone's life, which I'm remorseful about. And they tried to give me life plus 25. So I'm actually blessed to come out of that situation and then be able to still do what I love to do. So, you know, I'm very remorseful that someone had to lose their life. But I'm thankful that I'm sitting here with you.
Amen.
I am. You know, so,
no, I understand.
So I know what it's like to be behind that walls and them people telling you may not see the light of day again, because they did try to give me life plus 25. I did 8 years, but I'm sitting here with you today doing an interview.
Now, I saw your old interview. There was some corruption involved, wasn't it? From your interview about the person, when they got to the scene, there was no gun there.
No gun. They removed the gun. They tried to make it seem like I shot the young man in cold blood. Again, I am remorseful, but all those things that they went through, I could tell you this: if it was like people thought, I wouldn't be sitting here right now, because they tried to give me life plus 25. I did 8, and I'm able to sit here again with you and do this interview. You know.
How do you feel about? We are for Black Lives Matter.
Absolutely.
And I'm for defunding the police. A lot of people on my team is for defunding the police. And the simple fact I say defunding the police is they need to be trained from bottom up again. And the bad apples need to go. Don't try to cover them up and just send them to another precinct or give them a mark on their thing, on their career. No, if they're bad apples, get rid of the bad apples, because I have family members that's police officers and they're not bad apples. But this code of silence and the blue wall, all that got to be thrown out the window. Like, if you know your man is wrong, own up to it. Like that police officer down in Texas, he put his partner away.
I mean it.
We need, and he was Caucasian. We need more people like that.
You know, I do think that we do need a police force. I do think that we do have to have some structure and stability. However, I agree that to revamp, you know, like, I don't expect you to tear down a house because the wall need painting. You know, I expect you to paint the wall again, you know, with a new fresh coat of paint. So, you know we can't get wholeheartedly rid of any police force, but I do believe that they have to be retrained, and especially dealing with the mental health.
Yes.
Number one, that would be, you know, one of my biggest things. Like, you have to know how to respond to people with mental illness. So I think that it'll prevent a whole lot of lives from being lost with mental health. Another thing is de-escalation. You know, if you're trained to de-escalate, then a situation that may turn deadly may be de-escalated to
Not
just an
shoot to
arrest.
kill.
Right, absolutely.
I'm so tired of it. It hit our family
Sorry to hear that.
2 years ago.
Mhm.
My uncle John, that my favorite uncle,
Mm.
and oh, well, y'all know now. Anyway, but in Florida,
Mhm.
in the middle of the night, we still don't know the real story.
Mhm.
We haven't had to allowed to see the body cams,
Wow.
but 20 gunshots in the middle of the night, kicking in his door when he's sleeping.
This is your uncle?
My uncle. They shot him up.
Mm.
Why is it shoot to kill? You know what I mean? Shoot to wound.
Mm.
And I've been saying that, but when it hits home,
Right, it's different. I get it.
it's totally different. Yes, we do need police officers on the streets. We
Right.
do. Because Lord knows I thank them every day when I
Right.
walk into the building. No, because I work
No, I
on
get it.
Main Street. Our building is right there. And we have, I call it the catwalk.
Mm.
While I'm dressed up, I get nothing but yo baby wig.
Wow.
I was like, so I walk past and there's one, his name is Ronnie. I love him to death. He was like, that's a queen. You don't do that. Do you know what queen means? She's a businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
You may do that to the other girls, but you don't do that to her.
Not
I feel like a fresh piece of meat. One day I just had enough and I turned around and said, I'm not your baby. I'm not your girl. I'm not da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
I was like, learn how to talk to a female. I was like, but he's lucky. I was like, I would smack the taste out your mouth. And then the New York goes out. And then I'm like, And so then I get mad at myself because I was like, why you let him take you there?
Mm.
But you get tired of hearing it.
Right.
And disrespect.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Learn to respect your queens. Learn to respect your kings. Pull up your damn pants too. But anyway, that's another.
You know. Yeah, and you know, I meant this. You know, it's a lot of things that a lot of brothers don't understand. Where I should be able to recognize a man when I see a man, and a woman when I see a woman. The demasculation of y'all brothers looking like females, I'm not for it. You know, so you know, I think that men should look like men, and that should move like men. You know, I'm not gonna run around here personally with my pants hanging to my knees. I'm not doing that. That's ain't nothing fresh about that.
No.
And you know, again, I'm not telling anybody how to live. I'm not coming to tell nobody how to live. But when you have a respect for yourself, then you shouldn't be surprised when others respect you.
Exactly. And then when you don't get respected, it's because they're looking at you and look at how you present yourself.
Absolutely.
So, actor, rapper,
yes,
fashion.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Well, you know, right now we're working on some merchandise, frozen water merchandise. We haven't finalized anything yet, so. But I do have 2 clothing lines coming out that we've already got patents for.
What type?
Deep Pockets, Bummy Fly, and High-End B-Boy.
Okay.
And Fast Forward B-Boy. Because the B-Boy of today, you know, he might not rock shell toe Adidas, but you still have B-Boys. I'm one of them. Mm-hmm. So I might dress it up, dress it down, but it's I still want that B-Boy flavor. You know what I mean? And I think the B-Boy is important.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The B-Boy is important, man. You know, I like shout out to my man, Cool Taj the Great. He's a B-boy.
Okay.
Stay in his low gear. Shout out to my man Ron. He's a B-boy. My man Anthony Clark. He's a B-boy. You know what I mean? And these brothers actually, you know, still in a B-boy stands, rock the B-boy, and because the love of the culture. Mm-hmm. You know, when you love this culture, you don't have to explain to people what it is that drives you to dress how the culture of the B-boy. So we're working on a few things, and Lord willing, you'll be seeing them in the future. Okay. But dope, I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be fly. I wanted to be fly. Okay. Definitely fly.
I see you sharp. Trust me, I know you're not gonna come with nothing.
I can't come with nothing less.
No.
I can't, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I think that everyone has to understand, if you're serious about your craft, then the only way for people to take you serious is that you show them that you're serious. Mm-hmm. Because how can I don't, if I come to get my car fixed in your yard, Not saying that the mechanic work isn't great, but the representation, me coming to get it at your house in your yard, is not the same as you owning a shop.
Mhm.
So a lot of people tend to think because they know me that I'm supposed to get on the song, and that's a misconception. If you know that I'm professional at what I do, not saying I can't get on your song, but what you doing with it when we done? Are you putting it out? So that's the difference that separate those who do this as a hobby and those of us who do this as a profession, that we're taken serious. And the only way to be taken serious is I have to ask you, well, what are you doing with this? When we done with this song, where is it going?
Mhm.
So I'm not knocking nobody who's starting at the bottom. Please don't confuse that. I am saying that if I get on a song with you, I need to know you're putting it out.
Yeah.
Because if you get on a song with me, I'm putting it out.
Yeah.
But
And don't waste my time.
So that's what I want to be careful of, because I don't want to have people like, oh, he said he better than. No.
Yeah, no, you just
right.
Your time is precious and valuable.
Right. If you really moving it, if you're gonna really move your music, I'm for it.
Yeah.
But if this is something you just making for your man and them down the street, your girlfriend next door, I don't want it. You know what I mean? And that's not to diss anybody, but that's really to say that I look at myself as a professional. And the only way that you're going to respect me as a professional is that I have to let you know I'm good with making music if you're going to move it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not going to move it, I don't want no parts of it. That's why I love A.K. Reed. I love Deuce, because these brothers in their own right are passionate about what they do. And when we first started the project, Deuce came to me and was like, bro, when we do this project, man, I'm going to need you to be dedicated. He knows me. That's my brother. He knows me. I'm like, man, if I say I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna be dedicated, or I would not even lend myself to it. Exactly. And it's actually been a blessing. We did the movie Conflicted is dope. Please do not miss it, man. I'm telling y'all, it's one of the dopest movies out right now, man. And you will not be disappointed. I put A.K. Reed up there with the best directors. I put Deuce King up there with the best writers. Do not confuse the fact that we from Buffalo and y'all know us with the talent in this movie. And I'm speaking for everybody. I'm speaking from somebody the person that walked down the street in the scene. Everybody was very professional. And it's a great
Oh,
movie.
Deuce was not playing on the set. Yeah. He was like, quiet. And his arms got big. I was like, whoop. I was quiet. But when he was like, yo, man, we just trying to finish this scene. Right. Quiet. And I was sitting there like,
right. And I'm glad you touched on that.
But it was great.
I'm glad you actually touched on that. Another thing that's sad about our city, and I want to say this wholeheartedly, is it's sad that people will look at you and they'll critique you for what you're doing, but yet won't even try it.
Oh, won't support you either.
But won't listen, won't even try it. Mm-hmm. I tell you your cooking ain't no good, but yet I can't cook. But I won't get up there and try to cook nothing. But I'll critique you for the meal you made.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of those.
So it's crazy because people want to support you. They want to support, but they pride won't let them because it ain't them. But they surprised when you don't support them back because they don't support you. And this is, I promise, this is something that I've been talking to people about. We have to support each other. Because if I support you and you support me and you bring somebody along with you that supports you, then I got a connection to them through you.
Yeah.
And this is what we need here in the town. We need to support each other from people who making clothing. If y'all want to put y'all clothing in the movie, bring it. I'll wear it. But you also got to support me back.
Yeah.
Post me. And so it's a market for everybody to share.
Come on.
But everybody want to be the first one. Hold on to everything they got instead of releasing it to the world. Yo, I got directors, I got producers, I got writers. Man, y'all can have them all. That's what I'm for.
Yeah.
Because I'm for the culture.
Yeah.
And the culture is way more important than me.
Yeah.
This hip hop culture, fashion culture is way more important than one individual. And if you think not, then you are sadly delusional. Because in order to make it, we have to support each other.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Like, you'll see on my post some days, I'll be like, if you need an attorney, let me know. Mm-hmm. Inbox me. And then people be like, okay, I need this type of attorney. I'm like, okay, boom. I'll send them to Nicholas Hicks. or I'll send them to Josh Stubbs,
Right.
or I know who to send people to that
Right.
I can trust that they'll do right by them, because not everybody's out there to do right and rip people off. I'm not for
Right.
that, especially if I'm sending them. That's my name on there.
Right.
No,
I get it.
You know what I mean? So I did an interview with my boy Billy. He does solo shirts. I was rocking his solo shirt for the interview, and he was rocking my loyalty shirt on the interview. And I was like, that's what I'm like, instead of just talking, let's show them. And Billy didn't know I was wearing his shirt, and I didn't know he was wearing mine. So when we got on the Zoom, I was like, what's up? He was like, I got you. And I was like, I got you too.
I mean it.
That's Black unity.
Right.
But a lot of people so stingy, but we're not. We're trying to show them. I was like, instead of we're always talking about it, we're showing also. Like, I'm rocking his solo. He was like, I'm rocking her loyalty.
Right. One of the things, man, that people don't think about because it's not tangible is the barter system. Meaning, when you have intellectual property, meaning you're writing, certain skills, that's intellectual, your thought process. I think we lose focus on the barter system, because that's exactly what you just spoke about. I'm gonna trade you this for this. I'm gonna support you here, support me there. That's a barter system. That is very important. That is very important. We need to push each other through. If you're doing interviews, if I can get you, Benny, I'm gonna try. If I can get you Deuce, AK Reed, I'm gonna try.
I love that.
Watch this. Here's the thing. I can't make him sit here.
No, you can't.
I can't, but I can ask.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take that much to barter. You see, we so used to the barter system. Some of us, excuse me, let me rephrase that. I think that we look at the barter system as long as it benefit me more. I think that's what sad. And that's sad. So this is not an interview for me. I promise. I'm not trying to sound intelligent. I ain't trying to sound like everybody behind me, but I ain't fucking around.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Oh, I know.
I'm dead serious.
Let me tell you, I saw you on the set and I was like, okay.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, when you working with people that's passionate, this is what I've been learning since I've been back doing music. Everybody in their own right is passionate. And I guess from my experience of being back doing music, I love working with those who, if I wasn't there, I'd be there making beats, 50 beats a day on their own with nowhere to send them. But the passion is what drives people. So when you work with individuals who are passionate in their own right, I think that's what makes the wheel go more. And that's what we need.
Yeah.
We need everybody to pull their own weight. That way, everybody's contributing to where we're going. So this is my quote. It's nobody else's. I'm saying this right here on your show right now. I'm building the boat. You can help me build the boat, or you can decline. But when I'm done building this boat and it's set sail, don't be surprised when I leave you on shore.
I know that's right.
Because I asked you to help me build the boat.
Right.
So that it's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with getting support. We just using the wrong words. Nobody want to say help me. Nobody want to say help me. So we use the word support, which is fine. But we have to have that system. And that's what's lacking here. Everybody want to be the first to get there. Instead of saying, you know what? We running with him right now. No, let's run with me. I want me right now. I want me in front. Well, he rap better than you. He got more followers than you. He got more stain than you. You coming. I don't want to be patient. No, I want me right now.
So you gotta be patient.
And that's not what's happening here. If you have someone out front of you, let them go.
Yeah.
And support them.
Yeah.
And that way, what we're supposed to do is reach back.
And pull
pull them up. The goal is to get to the mountain.
And
to
also sit. See, I grew up when I was young. Sundays after church, my mother Hiller, she was our great aunt, God rest her soul. She was the pastor of the church. So everybody in the family would go after church back to her house. So the teenagers and kids is downstairs in the game room basement and everything. You got the older cousins who teach you how to fight, to handle guys.
Right.
They don't let none of my cousin Harry, he's a boxer. He made sure we knew how to handle ourselves. So then after that, I'm coming upstairs. I'm in the kitchen with the elders. They're teaching me how to cook. I'm sitting there listening to their stories, and I'm sitting and listening how a village is supposed to be.
I mean,
so I am the type. That's why they love me and call me Sunshine, because if I have something, I'm sharing. I'm supporting you, even if you don't support me. I'm rooting you on, because that's what we're supposed to do. Brothers and sisters are supposed to root each other on.
Right.
I was like, now, if you leave me back, that's okay, because I know what God has for me is for me. And it's going to come in due time. I'm learning while I go. I'm reading. I'm studying. I was like, that's why I say I always look at people whenever I was dating people. I'd be like, what does your bookshelf look like? Because I could show you my bookshelf. I take pictures of my bookshelf.
What's on your bookshelf?
Oh man, Malcolm X. I have I don't have it now, but back at home I had G. Garvey. I have all of them. I have my son now who's in 10th grade reading Malcolm X. I read Malcolm X in 9th grade.
Wow.
I have them doing Black studies. My 10-year-old, let's go. We're not going to just learn about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King.
Right.
There's others out there. The pacemaker is made by African American. He made it because his mother died of a failing heart. Then, okay, so I'm teaching my kids now, knowledge is power. Don't let them teach you, because they're not teaching us everything. Because you only get February at the shortest month of Black history, and you learn about Rosa Parks and this and that. What about the Tuskegee Airmen? What about this? What about that? There was African Americans on the front line in the Civil War. There's African Americans and everything else, but you don't learn that in history. So you have to teach yourself. How come we don't have a Black study in school where it's an African American teacher or a professor teaching African studies? How come we don't have that?
You know, for me, I think that a real important factor is number one, social economics. I teach my children, well, they're not children anymore, to be well cultured and well traveled. Social economics is big, and if you don't teach them the banking system, if you don't teach them how to save money, you know, there's three aspects to money. Number one, you got to know how to make it. Number two is how to save it. But the most important aspect about money is when to spend it. So now the society tell you spend, and give them a credit card. And we're not paying attention to the fact that some of us, if we're not educated in certain aspects of our culture, certain aspects of life's dealings, then how are you surprised that life is passing you by because you're not given the tools or, accepting the tools? Nobody want to read Malcolm X. Nobody want to read Marcus Garvey. You get what I'm saying? And I don't mean that wholeheartedly. They want to read what's those books?
Oh, the Essence magazines or fashion.
No. And I ain't knocking the book.
Oh, the romance books.
They want to read them hood books.
Oh,
don't get me wrong, and I ain't knocking them. I ain't knocking the hood books. Shout out to everybody who wrote a hood book. I ain't knocking them. What I am saying is that ain't it. That ain't the only thing you should be. You shouldn't shun certain knowledge and then accept what's keeping you in the dark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't read for, I'm being honest. The reason why I ask you what's on your shelf is I don't own one book and I have a library myself. I don't read for entertainment. I read for information.
Yeah.
So information, so knowledge is power. But it's not the knowledge that's just power. It's what you do with it.
And what you retain and apply.
So you know, we get away from, we can go back to hip hop with this. Each one, teach one. We're getting away from that. We're getting away from the each one, teach one. And it doesn't have to be giving me knowledge yourself only. Show me how to get my credit right. Help me get my credit right. Help me, you know, get my financing.
Or how to invest. And
right.
things. I had one of my friends, Gerald, come on. But here's the thing. When they asked me to come on, I said, let me do me. And they said, you got it. You got Tuesdays, do you. Right. I brought an investor on. Gold coins, how to invest and everything.
Wow.
My godfather brought this for me when I graduated college. And I wear this. It's $50 coin, but it's worth more. I have more coins.
I mean it.
And then on top of that, stocks, bonds.
Right.
What are you doing? Invest in Amazon. Amazon Prime is going up. And I love getting an email. You have interest. Boom, hit your account. Come on. I was like, so I'm bringing what I know and what I'm learning to the table. Like tomorrow, we're having a family special on the
Okay.
holiday. We're going to talk about Kwanzaa, the breakdown of it.
I mean
We're
it.
going to talk about what we do for our holidays with our family, and we're having our children on.
Mm.
Each one of us that's on does speak easy. But the simple fact is, how are they learning if they're not being taught? So
Mm.
this is what we're here doing. We're teaching. We'll
Right.
do. CJ does Black Facts for the week or for
Mhm.
the month. He'll bring up an African American. I
Right.
said, you know what? Let me do Black Facts for music.
Mm.
So I pulled up Duke Ellington. This date in 1956, he won an award. Did
Wow.
people know that? Not unless
I
you do
didn't.
your research.
I didn't know.
So I put it up on the post today.
Absolutely.
So the simple fact is, my mother, she was like, I want you to see outside of Huntington. I want you to see. So she traveled with us.
Right.
So wherever we went for traveling, overseas and everything, we had fun, but we also learned about that nature, that
I mean
culture
it.
for that state, for that country.
Right.
And then on top of that, she made us write an essay about what we learned on our vacation.
Mm.
So I do that with the boys. I don't make them write it, but I have them teach me
Right.
what they learned and what they saw. We have fun, but I do itinerary.
Right. Absolutely.
Let's learn about this state. Let's
that's
learn
great.
about this country.
And that's great. You know, I think that you know, most people who see me, right, and don't really know me but see me, they think I smoke marijuana. I don't smoke marijuana.
Because we look that way.
I don't smoke marijuana at all. Never have. I've tried it, but I don't smoke marijuana. I've never did a bit of drugs in my life. To the point where some people be around me and they smoke their weed and they're unconsciously passing in my direction and be like, oh shit, you don't smoke weed. I guess what I'm trying to say is when there's an absence of I want to be careful. I'm careful with my words. When there's an absence of intellectual prowess and a normalcy of the bullshit. I want to say it like that.
Say it like
the
that.
bullshit. Meaning, I'm more intellectual than people think, but a lot of people, if we don't speak intellectually, I won't speak intellectually. Not because I have to dumb myself down, but because you don't want to offend. You can't feed a baby meat. You got to
when
feed
they're
them.
on milk,
You have to baby feed them. And knowledge is the same way. Knowledge is the same way. I'm not some dumb rap nigga. I'm not somebody you get in the. I've turned down 5 major record deals, by the way, because the money wasn't right. I'm not some nigga you can push a contract in front of and I'm a sign. Like we had these discussions now. Like, okay, I could be working on a deal right now, but if the money ain't right and if it's not conducive with what I'm doing, I don't want it.
Yeah, don't water yourself down.
I would never. So I think that we should mix in some intellectual prowess with the bullshit. So we can talk bullshit or we can talk real shit. And I don't mind mixing the two.
Yeah.
But you're not talking to a dumb motherfucker.
Right. Right.
And our culture needs to know that when you're making this money from this music, invest it. Yeah. A lot of these young brothers is making this money and they're going to buy all these jewelry, Let me let y'all know something right now. I don't care what type of Rolex you go buy, my guy. When you put them diamonds all in it, it depreciates.
It does.
Because you can't take it back to the Rolex store or try to get rid of it. It's no different than you hooking up your car and you talking about you put $20,000 worth of paint in it. When you take it to the dealer, they're going to only give you the price for the car.
It depreciates when it gets off the lot.
So
I worked in claims for 10 years.
So and I ain't knocking nobody, but if you got money, you ain't gotta have no thing up to your no paint rolls to your ear. Real dudes don't do that, man. Yeah. So this is what I mean by the culture. I may touch a nerve with somebody, but when you have real money, you got credit cards. Number one, when you got that real money, they'll send you a black card because you can't apply for it. They'll send it to you. So we have to get away from that stigma of what we consider money. Yeah. Now it's cool to enjoy life. Don't confuse the two. But we have to get away from the fucking clown shit. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I see with money, holding money, man. Real motherfuckers don't do that.
But this is how they set themselves up to get robbed. This is how they set themselves up to, let's track them.
And
they're live.
No, the reason I'm saying that is when you know you're getting money. Yeah. You don't have to flaunt it. It's not for showboat. You don't have to showboat it. Live life. and enjoy it. They can give me 100 million right now. I'm not going to stuff it in no trunk. I'm not going to have no telephone in my ear, because this is what I mean about the culture and where it's moving. It's cool now to have money to your ear. It's cool now to hold money up your arm. Ain't enough of us saying, cut the bullshit. Y'all look like clowns.
Thank you.
Because you do.
They do. I agree.
When you rich, it'll show on its own. Not because you show your money don't show you rich. Your money don't show you rich.
No, it don't.
But here's what and I want to say this. We call them new money niggas. Because niggas that have money, that's used to having money, don't do shit like that.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers that just start getting money, do that shit. That shit is clown shit.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna touch a nerve, but I want to be adamant about that.
No, that's real.
That's clown shit.
That's real talk.
Real niggas that when we see you niggas, man, hold money and you got your bankroll, you holding duffel bags and showing your money in there, we laughing at you niggas because that's clown shit.
Yeah.
Real motherfuckers don't do that. They can give me 100 million right now. I never talk about some big
No.
So
I wouldn't change either. I would still be me.
The reason why that is something that I'm adamant about is we have to change the culture. Who the fuck made it cool to do this? It's not cool. So when you have those who are less intelligent, what's conforming. So if 5 people do it and you're not with it, now you feel left out. And that's what's happening.
Oh, I'm good to be left out. Look, I like to be unique. Nicole is unique.
But that's my point. My point is now why is it cool to hold your guns and your money and your and I don't understand because the feds is watching you niggas.
Yeah.
The feds watching.
They like,
listen, I promise y'all, I want to get this out, man. And
it's true. That's
the feds might be watching too. Let me tell you something, man. I want to say this wholeheartedly. You can have your Rolex on, you got your big diamond chain on, you flash your money. They watch it and they adding it up. Your house, your big car, and your bank account. Watch this. You can have a lot of money in the street, but if your bank account say welfare, they coming to talk to you. So be smart about your movements out here, my guy.
Love.
Any of y'all. If your bank account say welfare and you got a Porsche, they're gonna come talk to you. I really don't want to get into that type of part, but be smart. Be smart. If you're doing anything wrong, make sure your bank account don't say welfare, but your post, because they adding up your Rolex, your chain, your condo you showing, your big stacks of money. They adding that shit up. And don't be surprised when they knock on your door and say, we coming to talk to you for tax evasion.
Yep. And on top of that, back in high school, I had friends that sold paraphernalia.
I get it.
And I'm like, okay, what are you doing if you get locked up? Where's that money? Do you have a savings account? Do you have it stashed away? Because I'm not sending you commissary because you ain't sent me nothing. I was like, if you need something, I'm going to help you. But that's it.
No, I get it.
Because the simple fact is, what are you going to fall back on when you come home?
I get it.
You know what I mean? Like, start thinking smart.
They
don't think smart.
It's so crazy because, believe it or not, I promise, these people watching, I tell a lot of people all the time.
They are.
You should always.
They get you by the internet because here's the thing: they're idiots. They're posting it. They're live streaming. They're live streaming all their guns right there. Right. They're live streaming the money and the dope. And I'm like, okay, you just automatically gave them. Judge, we need a warrant for let's subpoena their internet, and they'll know if you delete it because they got the techies.
Right.
So you just set yourself up, and now look.
And that's what I mean about, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean about the new culture. So I want to say this, and please, man, if y'all listening, kick this around. Those are new money niggas, and I want to call them niggas, them new money niggas, because real niggas have been getting money without record deals, without movie deals, whatever the hell. The new money niggas is fucking the game up because y'all want to look like y'all been getting money and y'all just started.
Yeah.
So y'all behind the 8 ball already. So now y'all playing catch up. And I'm not knocking nobody who just started getting money. Don't confuse the fact that I'm saying someone's situation can't change. What I am saying is when you have this, you put out this aura like you've been getting money, but you just started. Those of us who know you just started. And we can recognize it without saying nothing to you. Because if you about $1, be smart about your dollar, invest your dollar. I ain't talking about where you started at. It ain't how you start the race, it's how you finish it. Be smart, please be smart. Don't get caught up in the hype and wanting to show the girls what kind of car you driving, and you get what I'm saying. And I mean that in the sense of, we can't take the drug culture and marry it to the music culture, because believe it or not, most dope dealers want to be rappers. Most rappers want to be dope dealers. Ball players too. We have to understand that to progress the culture forward, no matter where you started at on this playing field, it's not where you started. Where are you going? And where can you take me with you? Are you willing to take me with you? I'm willing to take me with you, you with me. So the culture doesn't start from where you start. Let's end this and let's end it right. Real shit.
No, real talk. Let's talk about the jail systems. In your Free, you talked about the food, you talked about the living, you talked about how they treated y'all.
Yeah.
And you talked about that jail that you were in down south was worse than
a lot of up here.
Yeah.
No, they had down
and
south.
We hear bad about Rikers.
Right. Down south, they got knives for real. Like, I hear every now and again about somebody having a knife, but no, they got knives down south in prison that go through you. I've actually seen about 4 people get killed down there. It's no games, and your movement has to be respectable. For the most part, when I was in prison, most of the conflict came from the gang members, and which I don't really understand how I'm gonna put another man in front of me to tell me what to do. I don't know. I never got that. I think that the prison culture bleeds out into the street, and the street culture bleeds into prison. So the balance is, when you have those of us who have the tools to talk to young men and say, yo, listen, I did it, so you don't have to. I went through it, so you don't have to. Them listening is not the same as them experiencing. And that's where the disconnect comes from. So you have most of our men going to prison, myself included, I'm one of them. And then our women are left to fend for the family. Then when we come back home, wanting our position back. And she's been running this fine oil machine without me. So that's actually backwards. As a man, I should do the heavy lifting. And I don't mean a woman can't lift. And as a woman, you should be nurturing. So it is not by nature it's not by accident that women have estrogen and men have testosterone. The reason why I'm mentioning this is, a lot of us have been raised by women. Raised by women. So we unconsciously take on a lot of the traits of women. That has nothing to do with homosexuality.
Oh yeah, no.
What I'm getting is, a lot of us have been raised by women, and we take that attitude out into society. And no matter where you go, prison or out of prison, father ain't around. So now your teachings come solely from your mother. And I don't think we give our women enough credit that when we leave, they hold us down. But when we come home, they are supposed to put the crown back on our head. And that's not happening enough. So a lot of us are being demasculated. And that happens constantly. The demasculation of our young men who have been raised by women, and those of us who have left with the tools to say, you know what? I know I did it, but I don't mean you have to. So that experience between prison and in the street meets to the point where now you confused. Am I a street nigga? Am I a prison nigga? Now I come home and I bring the prison to the street. I bring the street to the prison. Believe it or not, prison is the best place to get an education to become a better criminal. It's not reform. You want to learn anything about crime? Go to prison. That's where the best people at that know about that particular crime. I promise you.
Oh, I know.
So
Oh,
it's not, prison isn't reform. It's a place to get a better education, to be a better criminal. It really is.
my cousin said the same
It
thing.
really is. Yo, if anybody who's been in prison, they'll tell you, prison is a better place for you to get an education and become a better criminal. That's where the best criminals at.
Wow.
You know.
So, what do you see yourself doing to contribute back to the community, back to
Wow.
society?
Well, that's crazy because I plan to do some motivational speaking. Um, there's nothing set in stone right now because I have to get myself together. But I definitely plan to do some motivational speaking. I definitely plan to go back to the prison system, speak to the youth. Um, and I really want that to be my contribution to society. That I'm not someone who uh, I'm just not someone picking up a microphone, making beats or acting. There is an engine under my hood, and so my contribution to society, I want to be that I am well cultured and well traveled, and I have no problem sharing any knowledge that I have, because you may take some knowledge that I give you and utilize it better than me. And that's what I want my contribution to be to society as a whole. Not hip hop, music, movies, fashion, none of that. But we have to reach back.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're not going to try to reach back, hold on. But I want to say this: don't judge me because I ain't doing it now.
Oh yeah,
I plan on
no.
working on it. So if listen, you can't save nobody else from drowning until you save yourself.
I know that's right.
So
I learned the hard way on
yeah.
that because I'm always trying to help others,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, well, damn, who's
Yeah.
helping me?
Yeah, but I definitely plan on doing some motivational speaking. And me and Kenny, Pastor Kenny, we spoke about this. He had a program where he was actually going back to the prison. I asked him if I would love to go do that. I would love to go back to the
Okay.
prisons. Anybody out there listening, man, if you got one of them programs, I would love to go speak to these young brothers. And the reason why I say the younger brothers is those are the ones we need to reach the most. You know what I mean? Is that we need to give them a sense of direction, because we know already where we come from.
Mm-hmm.
So our job is to better ourselves now, but they still growing in this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a difference. Like, you're paralegal. And so that means that you've reached the spot where you can say, you know what, I'm gonna take it a step further, versus a young man who doesn't have his GED and he's just starting.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So we have to give, young brothers and sisters, we have to give them a sense of direction. The problem is what we said. I can't make nobody sit here. You can hand me the book, you can't make me read it.
Yep.
You can give me the shortcut, don't mean I'm gonna take it.
Like grandma says, you can lead them to water, but can't make them drink.
So
So we lead, it's up to you to drink.
Right.
So you've been in more than one of the movies with the fellas.
Right.
Is it 2, 3?
2.
2.
Well, I'm in 4. I'm in all 4 of them, but only cameos.
Yeah.
Only cameos in the first 2. Because I was working on getting myself together.
Yeah.
So I had to do what was conducive with what I had going on at the time. So I'm thankful to be a part of this project, the Project Dope. Everybody that was involved was dedicated, and we have more projects to come.
I know, I got the email and I was like, I couldn't be at the audition for the most recent one, the car wash.
The car lot.
Car lot.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, keep me on the email.
Right.
I'll be there for the next one.
So Conflicted 2 coming.
Yep.
And Pure 3 coming.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? We just trying to progress the culture. It feels good because I don't care what nobody say, AK Reed and Deuce King single-handedly, and I ain't knocking nobody else who did film here. Shout out to everybody that's doing film. Shout out to everybody doing music. But they have started a fire in people to believe I can do movies. I can write. They have set that fire. They have started that fire, man. And I know how that feels because I'm one of the, you can go ask the people, I'm one of the pioneers with the music, that where people come to me like, yo, man, you inspired me. Now I know I could do music without having to go get a big record deal. To the point now that a lot of people see me back doing music. Now they're like, yo, fam, you inspired me, man. I think I could do it. No, don't think. You got to go from thinking to action. And see, that's the difference with what's going on with me. Like, you know, I spoke to my manager, and I want to give him this credit. He said, "You know how blessed you are?" I said, "What you mean?" He just got back from Vegas, and he was like, "You know how blessed you are?" He said, "I want you to think about something. They try to give you life plus 25. You did 8 years. And look how the Lord has blessed you." He said, "You Marty McFly." I said, "What you mean, Marty McFly?" He said, "Yeah, you Back to the Future." He said, "You moving, you came out of prison and pursued everything that we spoke about back then, and now you moving on it.
Manifest.
Like you never left, to the point where you surpassing people who never left." And when he said that to me, the feeling that I had was nothing but knowing that I was blessed, but it also made me think of, and this the point, my work ethic. I'm working hard. I'm not just sitting here and nobody just handing me nothing.
You out there.
People ain't just coming and say, "Yo, I want to do a song with you," because they want to do a song. They see my work ethic, which is great for anybody, not just myself. So work ethic is important.
Yes, it is.
Because I can tell you right now, somebody right now that's not the best of rapper or singer, but they work ethic is better than somebody who's the best but has a poor work ethic.
Let me tell you, Friday, my flight was at 7 a.m. I get to the airport at 6:30. Flight canceled. I said, "I'm sorry, what?" I was like, "Okay." I said, "Lord, you opened this. What am I going to do?" He said, "Look to your left." I looked. Enterprise, the rental company, woman was standing right there. I was like, boom. I was like, "Do you have a rental available?"
Yeah.
They was like, Paris Smith was like, "Yo, that's serious ethics, work ethics, because you are dedicated." I said, "I'm hungry."
And I mean it.
I said, "I've fallen, I failed, I learned, I've taken some L's, but at the end of the day, I'm not quitting because I know my passion. My passion is to help others. My passion is to bring out knowledge and to let everybody know. My passion is, if you don't receive me, you don't receive me, but I'm not changing who I am because you don't accept it.
I get it.
That's you. I'm unique. No, I'm not going to shut up. No, I'm not going to just take anything."
I mean it.
And no, if I'm in the studio, I'm making sure it sounds the way it is supposed to be in my head. It has to come out there. Now, you may not understand what I hear in my head,
right?
But me and Huff, we connect.
I mean,
I'd be like, "Yo, Huff, I hear this." He was like, "I don't hear that yet." I was like, "Okay, just meditate for a little bit and let me tell you what the story's about." And then he'd be like, "Then he got it." And then it's like the fellas from the our podcast, 3:00, I'll wake up and be like, "Yo," in our group chat, and their wife be like, "Who the hell?" They be like, "Nobody but Sunshine." I'm like, "Good morning." It was like, "It's 3:00, Sunshine. It's not morning yet." I was like, "Yes, it is." They be like, "Go to bed, Sunshine. When do you sleep?" I was like, "I can't," because my mind is like, "What's next?" Like I make a level, and then once I reach that level, I make another level.
Absolutely.
Okay, here's my vision board for 2021.
Wow.
The pandemic may have hit, but it also woke you up on things. There's things that you see. I'm sorry, he handled his business. There's things that I saw that I didn't like. I wanted to switch. So yeah.
No, but and I love you for that. And when my manager spoke to me about it, you know, it just took me to that place that you just said that you recognize. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I'm really more intellectual than people know. I don't believe in failure. I believe failing is only not attempting to succeed.
It teaches.
You can get it wrong 1,000,000 times. All you got to do is get it right once to be successful. So that drive has to be in you. But today, it's almost like people look at you like, when you make it, they make it. When you make it, they make it. My drive is mine. I can't make you have my drive. I don't put ages and dates on success. I'm not somebody who says I'm a certain age, and when I get to this age, if I don't make it, I quit. You know, I'm passionate about what I do. The day that the day that I feel like I can't put words together, I quit. That has nothing to do with the age or date. So when you are driven, I think that driven people have a different mechanism mentally than those who look at you like, yo, get that up. You need to stop. You need to quit.
They feed me. They feed my energy.
Absolutely. So, and that's what's when you have. I guess what I'm trying to say is there's nothing that can compete with the creative mind. And that's on any avenue. I don't care. I ain't speaking music. I ain't speaking movies, fashion. I'm speaking on any level.
Yeah.
When you have a creative mind, it's always turning. You counting numbers in your sleep. You waking up with ideas.
Yeah.
And that is something that everyone can tap into. I believe everyone can tap into it. But we tend to believe, excuse me, some of us tend to think that I got to get it from you. Knowledge is power. You already said it. If you want to know anything about the music business, read up on it. Do your research on it. You want to know anything about poetry, read up on it. Do your research. How to write stanzas, all these type of things.
Yeah.
And I think that people tend to watch others so that they can gawk at them and mock them when things don't go the way that the person who's actually involved in doing their craft goes. I told you so. I knew she wasn't gonna do it. I knew she wasn't gonna get there.
Yeah.
But they scared to get on stage.
Yeah.
They'll boo you off stage singing.
Yeah.
But they won't get up there to sing.
Right.
I know.
But on top of that,
won't get up there and sing.
Yeah. My mother said to me, she was like, I'm proud of you. She was like, ever since you was little, somebody told you couldn't do it, including her telling me I can't do it. My mother was like, you made it your business to prove me wrong.
Wow.
My mother was like, you had it ever since you was little. And she was like, she don't want to say that she's living through me now, but she's happy that I didn't just settle. She was That's like, good. You're a go-getter. I said, whatever I fail at, I'm just learning. That's a learning curve for me. So now I know I won't do that again. I'll do this. Okay, gotta watch that, move this. Okay, write things off, things like that. The simple fact is, I'm teaching my children how to be entrepreneurs.
I mean it. And it starts there, we have to take away that nobody gave me nothing attitude, as if I'm only out and should be only out for myself, and work together as that collective, that community, that village. And we're not here in our city. And it's, I want to say it, nobody judge me for it. But if you really look back, everybody wants to get there first. But if we work together, we can get there together. Some may get there before others, but the goal is to get to the top of the mountain. If you're in front of me going up the mountain, you might get tired.
Yeah.
And you might need me to push you. Or I might get tired even though I'm behind you, and I might need you to pull me. The goal is to get to the top of the mountain, period, hands down. Yeah. And we have to look at our goals in life with that type of attitude. Like you said, like I promise you, financing, stock market, real estate, Amazon, these are great options. Like a lot of people.
I'll show you my stash list on what I do. I do investments in the fuel and everything. And I'll be like, I divvy out where I want it to go. Yeah. And it takes out of my account. So I don't even have to worry about putting it in. It's automatically set.
I mean it. No,
I just started this a few months ago. Yeah. And it's already getting up there. Right. I got Disney. I got investments in Disney.
Absolutely.
I got come on. I was like, I be telling you people.
I'm gonna tell you something I missed. And you probably missed it too. They say the price is higher now on that vaccine. We should have got it in from the beginning.
Right.
They said the vaccine was cheap. And this ain't no bullshit. Somebody called me like, yo, you think about investing in the vaccine? I'm like, nah.
And Bitcoins.
I wouldn't invest in Bitcoin because it's not backed by nothing, but I would invest in blockchain, the actual mechanics of it. So I would invest in the technology, not Bitcoin. It's not backed by anything. I don't knock nobody. Nobody judge me. I don't knock anybody who has any Bitcoins, but it's not backed by nothing. So I would first invest in the technology.
Gotcha.
Which is blockchain and not the actual coin.
Okay.
But now that's up high.
Okay.
I promise.
But
look into it.
Oh, I am.
Yeah,
when we done, I am.
Look into it.
Look at here. I'm trying to let my money work for me.
Well, that's, you want to have, to have a comfortable lifestyle, you want to have residual income.
Mhm.
Like, it's a lot of things in life that, like when you asked me about the motivational speaking, I definitely plan on doing it. But right now I have to secure me financially
So you
that
could do it.
my kids and my grandkids can't spend the money when I'm gone.
Oh,
Because
true.
nothing I do right now is not focused on just me. And I get a lot of flack from my kid's mother, um, because I went to prison. So my relationship with my children isn't the best, but it's not the worst. But I understand because I left. But I used to mentor my kids from prison and tell them there's a difference between me leaving your life and being removed from it. I was removed. So it's funny, and I wasn't gonna get into it, but I will. When my kids was coming up for their 16th birthday, if they wanted a car, they would have to read one book
Okay.
and they would have to read one essay. That one book was The Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith, because I need them to know socioeconomics, and I needed them to read the Willie Lynch letter, because that
Mm.
system is actually going on today. Today,
Oh
Jim,
yeah.
redlining is still happening.
Yeah.
Jim Crow is still happening.
That hanging and the still happening.
So it's like you have to know what's been put in place for us to fail, because then that way you at least have some tools or some knowledge to get around it. In order for me to become trustworthy, then I have to tell you something that you can know on your own. And for instance, if I tell you to save $20 for a week, for a month, in a 4-week month on your own, that's $80. That's not some new knowledge that I just gave you. That's knowledge you understand from yourself, but me saying it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what's not happening no more. We're not accepted. You can't take knowledge. Take my advice. That's backwards. We're using wrong terminology. Take my advice. No, you have to accept my advice. People say things like, I got to get my life together. Well, where your head at, over there, and your leg over there? Stop using these terms.
Mm-hmm.
They dead terms, but we're not focused on the later. We so focused on right now that later seems so far off. So right now, nothing I do is merely for me. Nothing. I promise you. Even me sitting here, everything I'm doing now is to hopefully secure my children and their children's future.
And that's what I'm doing with mine.
Yeah.
And my middle son, he likes to model and sing.
Oh yeah.
So he wants to do acting.
Mm.
Okay. The youngest is all sports. But I tell him you need to have that education to fall back on. Because when the limelight is over, what do you have left to fall back on? And I told Miles, who's my youngest, I said, I'm going to be your agent because that money will stay in-house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I work for the lawyers. I'll have him. I know. I work for the lawyers. He's a champ.
You see this, man?
I work for the lawyers. I'll make sure they read the contract. But the simple fact is, mommy will take a percentage, put it in the savings. He is. He's my baby. He does. No, he wants you to rub his belly. He's my baby.
Wow.
When we when we first got him, we're talking about my dog Romo. Yeah. When we first got him as a pup, we just came back from Puerto Rico. So he was whining and whining. So I made a bed on the floor and I slept with him to break him in, let him know. So ever since then, that's mommy's baby.
Wow. Yeah. He over here spoiled.
That's mommy's baby. That's
her dog is spoiled. He right here.
He is. He's spoiled.
He right here.
And if you start snores too.
Knocked out.
Him and Miles take turns snoring.
Wow.
I'm like, help me, Lord.
Yeah.
But we got him when we came back from Puerto Rico. And one thing is, I love to travel. When I feel stressed and everything, it's like, it's time to travel. Yeah, it's time for me to do some me time, care time, relaxing and everything. But with our children, I teach them, let's save. Mm-hmm. Miles, he was like, Mom, what type of house you want when I make it big? Like, he's speaking into existence.
That's a good attitude right now. Absolutely.
I said, Mommy doesn't want a mansion. I'll just have a house. He was like, well, I'll get you a maid. Because you cleaning up behind me and my brothers and everything else. And son. Do you need a chef? Oh yeah, Miles, that's my mini me. That boy opens up the car for me.
Oh wow.
He was like, Mom, at dinner, he was like, Mom, you thirsty? What you want to drink? He'll get the drink for me.
Wow.
I teach them old school, holding open the doors and everything. He runs to the car door to open up the door for his mother and everything. I'm sick. He'll pray over me, or he'll be like, okay, you want soup? Jay, help Mom with soup. Get soup. Mom's sick. Like, he'll even fight his big brothers when they be clowning on me when I'm not around. They're like, yeah, Mom's strict. Did she show up to your school and embarrass you like Mom did to me? And I'm that mom that does pop-ups. Okay, the teacher call and say they acting up. Oh, I got you. I'll pop up. I'll tell my boss, I'll be back. I have to go handle something at the kids' school.
Right.
They be like, oh. Then I'm there, and I'll be sitting in the corner, and they don't even know until the end. And people be like, yo, your mom's just back there. He be like, huh?
Nah.
I had it out with a bus driver. She wouldn't, we made sure that the bus company, this street is really busy and there was many accidents. So we had a petition signed, and the school has to drop each child on this street in front of their home.
Yeah, I get it.
So this bus 57, you know, I know the bus number. Bus 57 decided to just drop him off at the fire hydrant. I said, okay, so she wouldn't stop. So I went in the middle of the street, put my hand out. She stopped. She opened the door. I said, what's your name? She was like, I'm Bus 57. I said, oh, you want to be one of those? I said, okay, boo, boo, let me tell you. Bus 57. By the time I get finished talking to Julie at the bus station headquarters, she was like, you know Julie? I said, yes, Julie knows me very well. But let me finish, boo-boo. By the time I finish with you, Bus 57, if something happens to my child, I will sue the bus company, I will sue you, and by the time I'm done with you, your grandkids won't have no funds. I'm not the mother you want to play with. So I called Bus 57. I said, I called the station, and I told them. And I told Bus 57, I was like, when I'm done, you will be dropping my son off tomorrow in front of my driveway. She was like, yeah, I beg to differ. I said, oh, you do? Watch this. Next day, I was on the porch. Hi, Bus 57. Didn't I tell you be dropping him off in front of my house? She was heated. And the kid and my son, Elijah, came running off the bus. He was like, oh, yo. Mom's out there giving it to her. I mean it. I don't play. Don't play with my kids.
Well, that's what
play with my
do.
kids. Don't play. Well, not a lot of parents do, but I do. But I'm that mom. I show up. I'm that mom. I will yoke them because they're boys. So I yoke them up. Like, who you talking to?
No, I get it.
You know?
No,
mommy will love you. Mommy will give you the nurturing, but mommy will smack you upside your head too. Because don't let me see you out here with your pants below your belt. No. With no belt on or anything else. Don't let me see you out here acting like somebody I did not raise.
I mean it.
Because you reflect me and I reflect you. So if I'm not out here acting ignorant, you're not going to be out here acting ignorant. Because I will make, ooh, Jesus.
I mean it.
I'm like, no.
That's a, you know, and your kids are definitely a reflection of you.
Yeah.
You know, so we gotta train them up.
For real. And so now, Jalen didn't want to read Malcolm X because they're gamers and stuff. I said, oh no, in this house, you're going to read Malcolm X. And Miles, you'll be reading that real soon. He's in 5th grade, but he was like, I want to read it now. So I'm going to try to see if I can get a level that he'll be able to understand.
Well, if you know, I'll say feed him. If you want it now, feed him. Don't, you know, let him decide that it's too much for him and then take that other recourse.
Okay.
Feed it to him. If he can take it, take it. You know what I mean?
Because I told Jalen started reading it. He was like, yo. I was like, I told you, it's not just about the man, it's about the movement.
Right.
That man had so much power, they consider him a threat.
Yeah,
so they took him out.
I get it.
I said, do you know the CIA is the one that put the drugs in our African-American community? Do you know that they're the ones that put the guns in our community? Yeah. But then when it trickled over to the white community, then it's an epidemic. It's a problem.
Right. And they still do that with drugs. They do it with the
Exactamundo. But you won't know if you don't do your history and do the research.
They ain't saying gun violence.
Exactly.
No.
Simple fact is, but people was like, how do you know? But I was like, if you did watch the documentary, I was like, but that's the thing. I love history.
Right. No, for real.
History is what you learn.
I get it.
And they don't teach you everything. They hide everything.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, they got a job to do. So that's why, you know, we also got a job to do, you know. And our job is not to be deaf, dumb, and blind.
Exactly.
You know, at no point. And so I seen a magician do a trick. But when I seen him do the trick, I knew it was a trick.
Mm-hmm.
That's magic. So I'm not surprised at the trick. It looked good, but it's a trick. That's
Mm-hmm.
why it's called a trick.
Yeah.
Right. He's a
And we got to
magician.
keep an eye
Right. So
on.
my point is when you go to see a magician, you already know you're being tricked. I don't know.
Tell them where they can find your music.
Man, listen, we working on all platforms.
Okay.
Actually, what you just something you just named. My manager working on all that, but you will be able to find the music soon. On all platforms. We working hard, man. The album coming out, Deported to Buffalo. Y'all go cop that joint when it do drop. Like I said, we working on a mini movie. We just finished completing filming that last night. I'm excited, man. We got the movie. Got more movies to come, man, and just trying to stay humble through the whole process.
Exactly.
Y'all won't catch me with no phone or money. That's not happening. I ain't got to worry about that. So we just staying humble through the process, man. Go check me out on IG, Adiyon.Shalon. Go check me out on Facebook, Adiyon.Shalon. I'll soon be on all platforms.
And I share. We share here at this Speakeasy. We share. Yeah. And this will be on YouTube later on tonight, and we'll share the link again.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll send it to you.
And we support back and forth, man. Listen, Buffalo, stand up, City on Fire, Conflicted January 15th. Deported to Buffalo dropping soon or around that same time. The mini movie Deported to Buffalo dropping, man. Much more to come from myself and my whole team. A.K. Reed, Deuce King, John Stove, Monique, Tim Love, the cat. Shout out to my manager, Darren Johnson. Shout out to my partner, Esco. You know what I mean? We working. City on Fire, Buffalo stand up as one unit. Support everybody.
Yes.
If I got connects that you need, no problem. I'll shoot them your way. Shoot yours my way. The goal ain't to get there before me. My goal ain't to get there before you. Our goal is to share and get there together.
Yes. Oh, I wanted to say on the air when we was doing the club scene, and I'm only telling a little tidbit. When you had to be the thug to pull her out of the chair and stuff, then but I saw you take time out to tell her, not critique her, but you was like, this is how I'm going to do it and everything else. And then you helped her in her part.
Right. So
and I was like, but a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, I promise you.
So I peeped that.
Yeah.
Look, I'm the one that was sitting and I watch everything. I have military in my family. So I never keep my back to the door.
Right.
But I watch who comes in, watch who leave, but I also watch what's going on, where everybody is and things to that nature. I was like, so somebody was sitting at the table next to me and they was like, you watch. I was like, yeah, I'm a watcher.
Absolutely.
But I peeped that. I seen you in the corner of my eye telling her that. And because I was sitting this way watching Deuce perform with the girl at the bar. But then here comes your scene.
Right.
And then you roll up on Deuce. But that's all I'm going to say. It's good, y'all. But I wanted to say how you was helping her get in her character on how to receive for this part.
I love you for that. And working with Deuce and Reed, Stove, and Monique, man, a few people behind the scenes. Shout out to my man, Nardo, Uncle Murder. Big help on the crew. That me and Reed loves that about me. He'd be like, yo, boy, you don't know how professional you be in your own right. If you mess up, I just keep going. If we say action, once you say action, if I stumble a word, then I just go right back to the script, you know. And he said he loves working with me for that. So shout out to my man AK Reed, helping me brush up on my whatever skill it is, directing, producing. You know what I mean? But it's been really fun doing this movie, and I hope we inspire future filmmakers. I hope we inspire future writers. The city got so much talent, man.
Yeah.
Writers, directors, poets, every genre, fashion, everybody. Buffalo, keep doing y'all thing, man. And I'm gonna see y'all at the top, man. One way or another, I promise you.
All right. Well, this is Sunshine saying, mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you for tuning in. Like and share, share. And have a blessed night. And see y'all tomorrow for the family night with the children. We're going to have a holiday, y'all.